So, we are at grand finals time over here. Best of 7 between Reno Vitality and Team BDS. Quick reminder for all of you as well, who are maybe not quite as familiar with double elimination brackets. BDS must be beat in 2 best of 7s in a row. BDS have only been beat in 2 best of 7s all season. And maybe I think one of those was only a best of 5. So, good luck, Reno Vitality. James, they've got to do what the entire region has not.
Yeah, well, Shogun, I would warn anybody, though, never say never when it comes to upsets like this. Think back to Season 6 of the RLCS with Dignitas and Cloud9. It was unthinkable that a team like Dignitas, who was on such a dominant streak, would ever be dethroned, but Cloud9 was able to do it. And that is the type of task that is in front of Vitality today. They already got swept by BDS earlier, and they were outscored in the first 2 games 10-1. Which is unthinkable that anyone can do that to Vitality. So BDS, they are playing out of their minds, and this is going to be an incredibly difficult thing to pull off.
And one player that was there for that Cloud9 Dignitas game was K-Dop. Currently with Reno Vitality now and looking to try and be on the better side of the result this time around. As for BDS, they will be the favorites in this one. They are defeated here, though. They get a 5-minute break to try and reset themselves and then go in for the second series as launched long by Monkey Moon. First minute here, looking a little bit more positive for Reno Vitality, but I hate to remind everyone of this every single time. BDS starts slow in this series. They might win the first few games, but they always get better. And
I mean, Shogun, they beat Vitality 6-0. In game 1. So
look, maybe they consider the first 4 games as the start of this. Who knows? They knew what was coming up next as K-Dop will find our first goal. And that will be something that Reno Vitality fans can use as a bit of a hope bringer.
Extra, he was in position, maybe trying to trick K-Dop into going for an infield pass, but Alpha, though he was in position, had 0 boost. No chance to get to that save. K-Dop called his bluff. And that is the type of shooting you expect from a veteran like K-Dop.
We are going to see Vitality have a chance in this. It has to be individual brilliance. They've got so many mechanical masters on their team who haven't been able to show it against BDS this season. Drop now over to Extra. Wants the backboard. Realizes that Fairy's going to be coming in late, and this is what BDS do well. They put the ball in awkward positions, find the challenges afterwards, and will eventually start to starve you out. We just saw Mark still a 100 boost in the far corner. Try and rotate out each and every time, and this is going to be their chance. A straight at K-Dop and Fairypeak able to recover the ball afterwards, and now he might be through on net himself. Monkey Moons with 2-0 Reno Vitality.
Yeah, Mark didn't really get much on that shot, and it resulted into a quick counterattack. Monkey Moon with a rare mistake as well. He had boost in the tank. He turned early. It wasn't even close to making contact. And Fairy, he's the one with the shot. And if you've been watching this event today, you will know that Fairypeak shots are on point. Even in the series last time against BDS, Fairypeak was still hitting these pinpoint accurate shots. So you never want to give Fairy anything close to an open net because he will rarely, if ever, miss.
So, perfect start here for Reno Vitality. They are going to be in this for the long haul. At minimum, they are going to be playing 8 matches against BDS. They could play up to 14. It's going to be a very ridiculous road, or it has the potential to be. K-Dop flicks. He's now going to be a passing option downfield. Realizes he can't steal a 100 boost. Still, good position here for Reno Vitality, putting the pressure on, especially with the team that are 2 goals up. I think it's BDS who have made a couple of missteps so far, and now that they've got to take more chances getting this lead back, might be a chance for Vitality to put that 3rd one in.
I think Vitality fans are feeling pretty confident here. That one almost barred down. Alpha also trying to get in the mix. Didn't really influence much after that, but overall, we're sitting at less than 2 minutes left to go. Vitality, a 2-goal lead. BDS making mistakes that gave Vitality some additional chances. This is as vulnerable as we've seen BDS all day.
Going to the midfield. Mark can win that one pretty cleanly. You can recover in time as well. So going to give chase over to Fairypeak. Alpha goes to race down for it, and that's a huge jump in from K-Dop. He had to make sure he made contact. Double commit as well. K-Dop will now be by himself for momentary, as the rest of the team has to get back to come and help him. Fairypeak will indeed be the one to do exactly that. Takes it coast to coast, left to right, anywhere that BDS want to go. Fairypeak will make sure that the ball is not there.
I thought it was a 1v1 for a second, and Fairypeak had possession. He seemed to be the only player touching the ball for a good 30 seconds.
Anyone that's seen Fairy 1v1 knows that he's more than capable of keeping that for even longer than 30 seconds. I have seen him in 1v1s just hold the ball for 2 minutes straight. Not allow anyone to go much of anywhere. 50 seconds now. And for Reno Vitality, they'll be thinking that they were expecting a little bit more when it comes to the defensive stand they're expecting to keep. Instead, there was the one long bit of offense that BDS had that, well, turned into actually a goal against them. That was the second one that went in.
Yeah, and that was after
nothing.
And Shogun, that was after Mark didn't even get the greatest hit on the ball. We usually see BDS take all these opportunities, get quality strikes, force rebounds like this. That made Fairypeak stretch. But all in all, BDS, sluggish start of Vitality. Now they're starting to pick up momentum. And you see this quite a bit in Rocket League, Shogun, where you have the teams come through that lower bracket and really start to hit their rhythm.
Certainly so. Reno Vitality taking game number 1. I'm not going to, go crazy with this one just and say, might be turning around. There is a lot of Rocket League still to play. But the fact remains, that was not the top quality BDS we have got used to seeing. And they are going to want to try and refine their form as quickly as possible.
Yes, and they have the space to do this. They're going to have to lose 8 games here to Vitality. It's going to be, we're in for a long haul. If Vitality do manage to
we
get
hope
this
we're in
we got
for
to
the
do it
long
again.
haul. Look, I'm very happy to go past, what would that be, like 11 p.m., I think, for me? To get that one all the way to maybe, 2 best of 7s. Am I being a bit greedy? Yes, I am. But please just give us this. Please. Potential for a phenomenal series here. But as we get into game number 2, we're going to start seeing how these teams are expanding and more crucially, how they are adapting to each other, because this is already the second best of 7 they've played today. BDS already well known for their ability to make switches midway through a series as try and remove the player, but Extra can't move it in time. It's going to give an opportunity, but does get enough contact on Alpha to prevent the pass.
Yeah, I like that bump from Extra. It wasn't a huge bump, but it was enough to keep Alpha grounded and not be able to stay on the ball, and it gave Monkey Moon some space. Monkey Moon really is that player for me on BDS. The more I watch him, the more I am convinced that he's the best that's playing the game right now. He has been so good. BDS so dominant, a lot of it because of his raw ability. We saw him struggle in game 1, so game 2, keep your eyes peeled to see what he does.
So far, seems like it's Operation Hit the Ball very hard for BDS, and they are one of the best teams to do it. It's going to go over the top of Alpha. Fairypeak avoids getting blocked. BDS will just look to keep hitting the ball long and seeing if they can catch a static defender with a demo. Fairypeak already downfield. Monkey Moon does avoid, but I think these players just don't even care anymore about trying to collect the ball. As long as they collect the player, that's all that really matters. It's all a good spot here for Reno Vitality, but they should escape this. Oh, mistake actually from Alpha. Monkey Moon can keep a hold of it. Fairypeak gets called away from K-Dop. And finally, they will get rid of it a couple of seconds after when they would have wanted to.
And then Alpha getting that flip reset as well to keep that ball downfield. The first time these players matched up. Ooh, this is a good rebound. The shot! You saw the backflip. Who was this on the goal line? They just gave up.
It was an infield pass straight to Extra. Fairy did well. He managed to read that they were going to try and put it behind him, but nothing else after that.
Well, K-Dop had pre-jumped a bit. He was expecting having to go for a block, and as soon as he jumped and the shot was delayed, he knew he had no chance on that ball.
Alpha can't recover quick enough here, but he can block Mark's touch, so well played by Alpha. Problem is, there's no boost anywhere, really. K-Dop will be the only one with any real boost tank as Fairypeak will finally collect something. This has become a very little control, very much about long hits and seeing whether that defensive mistake is going to happen.
It's a huge change, though, Shogun, from the last time we saw these two play. We saw BDS getting to every ball first, getting the long clears, forcing Vitality to retreat. And it has not been the case at all. Right now, Vitality controlling even this attack. You see they're just winding up, going time and time again. You see the clear attempts come out from BDS, but they just don't have the boost or the space to really get anything going.
Oh, there's another mistake. Now, off the backboard, Monkey Moon recovered. Of course he did. Able to off-put the ball, so no rebound could come into trouble his team. There's another bump. Keep your eyes off the ball at the same time. Both these teams very physical with the way they have approached this grand final so far. K-Dop has infield options, realizes it might be a bit too obvious. Now Fairypeak off the ceiling. He's still got Alpha to available. Gets it back into the midfield. It's going to be a lot of work to do. Alpha doesn't quite want to do it. I agree with that decision as well. If it doesn't go well for him, then that might just leave K-Dop all by himself against a charging two-man offense of BDS. It's not a position you want to put anybody in, as Alpha for the double tap, can't quite find it. Fairypeak was coming up very close, so he can't take the ball all too early.
For a while there, Shogun, it seemed like there was an agreement to only play half field. Vitality.
It's been a weird game, hasn't it?
It really has. Vitality with all that pressure, all that possession, but still only one shot.
Does this feel more like game one than game one did? Like what I would expect out of a game
feelers,
one.
You know, yeah. Both teams not really having many threatening opportunities on net, but we are seeing a battle play out for possession.
I'm sure this is one that coach is going to have a very large hand in across the midfield. Alpha tried to pre-jump it. Now off the backboard. Here comes Fairypeak. Takes the shot. Crossbar help put it directly into the path of Monkey Moon. But finally, Red Vitalia brought into this. K-Dop looks for it one more time. And we are all tied up.
And it was only a matter of time with this much possession, this many looks on net, and K-Dop. He had the placement last game. He's got it again. K-Dop stepping up, tying things up, and we've got less than a minute to go. Vitality, even though we're just seeing it tied up, they have been on point, taking every single chance to trap BDS on their goal line. BDS have to figure things out.
Well, Vitality have only got 3 shots registered in game. You get a feeling that almost all of them were just within the last few moments. 2 each. And a huge opportunity now for Vitality. Whilst it feels like gameplay-wise, both teams are trying to feel their way into this grand finals. It would already be half the job done to get towards the bracket reset for Vitality if they can grab the next one. Fairypeak put it straight up to Mark, but K-Dop looks at Fairypeak one more time. It's not the best touch. And a final opportunity here for BDS, as Renault Vitality don't want any of that. They put it onto the floor and go to overtime.
Vitality, this is exactly what they needed. They get smoked the last time they match up. Now, an opportunity to go 2-0 in the series, and a miss from Fairy. But that demo doing wonders. However, Extra on 0 boost manages to get this ball downfield. This is huge.
Vitality just got caught in their own way. Can't quite reset this rotation just yet. Double commit off this as well. It's all on Alpha to help them out, and he's done so. That will add a bit of normality to this rotation now. The demo on Fairypeak didn't help encourage K-Dop to aggress on that ball. And now it's very awkward. More demos from BDS. And they want this game too.
Yeah, Extra the one getting that demo, and he made that play on 0 boost. Fairypeak, when he got that demo, I thought BDS was in trouble. I did not expect Extra to make such a play.
Oh, and it's dropped straight out to Monkey Moon! 1 each in the series. And who else? Extra, who has been so prolific in this overtime. Monster block from him. Out to Monkey Moon, who could do the only thing he knows how to do in that situation. And that is score.
Yeah, Extra was brilliant on the ball. He truly was. Even in the play before it, to get that clear in the tough spot that BDS was in, that gave them that counterattacking opportunity and really changed the tide of the battle. And that extra block, like you pointed out, Shogun, that was the touch. That set up the ball. It teed it up for Monkey Moon to come in and blast that in.
Can we, I don't even know how they do it, but BDS, every single time there are these challenges, we call them 50-50s, but if they are 50-50s, how do they read the bounce out every single time? There's always, it doesn't even feel like they're reaching the ball first. It feels like the ball just comes straight to them. They are that good at positioning for it.
It's you know, just that extra bit of awareness and focus. And Rocket League is one of those games where you really do have to have hyper focus. You know, you have full control over your car, and even the slightest shift in your car when you're using air roll, that makes the biggest difference. Whether you hit it with the corner or slightly tap it with your wheel, it's down to those millimeters. So when you see players like BDS or teams like BDS with players like Monkey Moon and Extra and Mark, they are so precise, so aware, and just have ultimate mastery over their car, making those little changes that allow them to get those quality 50s and those big wins when they're going up to try to get the blocks.
Well, I won't say it could have been much more comfortable for Vitality, because they'll be anything but that. But losing that last overtime does put them in a much more difficult position. Had the opportunity to be 2-0 up, now down to 1-1. All the work to do. Fairypeak just to try and show his hand. Marked by 8. He's danced around everyone here. It's up to K-Dop. Up to the far corner. They've got to make sure they prioritize their 100 boost as well. As keeping this ball away from these backboard, because Extra can come up. He goes for his opportunity. Shots on target. Fairypeak keeps it out, but he's got no chance against the second one. The BDS barrage is just too much.
It's like we're watching a Gatling gun, and the target, Vitality's net. Eventually, you'll find enough shots hitting their target. And Vitality, oh man, 3 saves already for Fairypeak. We're in the first minute. And BDS, you really feel, Shogun, that last game could have been such a huge momentum, huge momentum win for Vitality, going up 2-0 in the series. But you feel like with BDS, how good they are, getting that overtime win back, the odds are starting to go much more in their favor once more.
It really does become a case of if Vitality can't win this one, despite the fact that it's only 2-1, you struggle to see a way that they would come back into this. We've just seen it far too often from BDS. Obviously, it's their jobs to go and make believers of us. Alpha already up. Good challenge from him, but gonna need much more than that right here. They're gonna need something magical from their talisman. K-Dop over to Alpha one more time. He's got that backboard available. This time he'll be unchallenged, but drop down, found the wrong part of the backboard to really work with. The play will be gone. You don't know how many more times Alpha's going to get a free chance to put the ball off the backboard, so I've wanted more from that.
Yeah, Alpha, on plays like that, you really want it to bounce back off the backboard. You're not trying to hit that arc down. In rare situations, you'll go for that if there's nobody on the goal line or they're out of boost just sitting on the goal line. So Alpha just a bit off, and Shogun, really, to take down a team like BDS, you're going to have players like Alpha really operating at full efficiency. It takes a lot to beat this team.
We are seeing much more attempts to go for the edge dribbles from him. And he's getting closer, but the infield pass over to Extra, and it's a rotational mistake from Reno Vitality. Where were they trying to go, and what were they trying to stop?
So Fairy went for the mid boost. Fairy thought that he had time to go for the mid boost and the challenge, and maybe he even thought that somebody was back. But Shogun, it was pretty empty back there. It was a ghost town on the Vitality goal line. And, you know, Vitality, they're starting to show some cracks. And we have the battering ram that is BDS that has been relentlessly pounding at the door.
And here is one of the main contributors of that so far, Extra. Just is so annoying to play against at the moment. And annoying is a compliment when it comes to Rocket League playstyles. Good luck getting rid of him. He's trying to hit you on the way down from his air dribbles. He's taking out your goalkeepers. He's stealing your boost. It's bullying when Extra is on the field at the moment.
Yeah, aren't games supposed to be fun? You know, every time you play against Extra, you know, it becomes a little less fun.
Oh, but here's maybe an opportunity. Fairypeak's got it off to the side. Ooh. Alpha got too close, though. Couldn't react. And a huge dunk from Monkey Moon means that it's back to square one for Reno Vitality. Fairypeak gets a good block, but what comes after that? Let's see what they can bring up this time around. Cuts across to Fairypeak. Goal! And Reno Vitality have cut that lead in half.
And Fairy, he has really been the saving grace for Vitality. That was a pinch that goes right to him. Presence of mind there from Fairy to turn. Another quality struck ball from him. He's been hitting his marks, so we can see Fairypeak get more of those shooting opportunities high in the mid. We might see Vitality start to pull something off, but we haven't really seen much for them in terms of that shot setup. They've been keeping possession. They've been beating BDS to some challenges, but we haven't really seen them get that uncontested shot in front of net.
And right now, my eyes are on Alpha. He's had opportunities on the ball. They just haven't managed to get anything from it so far. K-Dop over to Alpha. He might be able to get it back, actually.
Yeah.
But those infield passing plays, very well read. And Fairypeak actually collided into K-Dop, making this rotation back a little bit more difficult. K-Dop just keeps it away. Not the first touch he would have wanted. BDS already on him. 30 seconds here, James. And Reno Vitality still searching for their goal.
They're going to need something special. You've seen K-Dop and Alpha. They were trying to work together there. Alpha's passes were just out of reach. Even there, wasn't able to find K-Dop, who was in that outlet position.
K-Dop would have liked that to go anywhere else. He also would like to make contact with it. 10 seconds now. All of it to do for Reno Vitality. And all of their chances go up in smoke.
I mean, if you're Vitality, you're going for these passes across the mid. You're doing everything you can. And then you get scored on like that. Alpha taking too much time, losing track of where Monkey Moon was. And Monkey Moon, he's taking that all the way to the bank and laughing while he catches that check.
3-1 will result in a 2-1 lead for BDS in this grand finals. And they are well on their way to what to them is just another regional victory.
I mean, for BDS, it's like, is there any different format? It basically seems like the same. They just have to win every series, and they win it all. I mean, single elimination, double elimination, it doesn't really matter for them because they never lose.
It's ridiculous. A reminder as well that this tournament does give out more points. You know, previous grand finalist winners got 351 points for winning it. BDS, if they take this, will go on 401 points up. Made the point earlier on, James, that BDS could have not turned up to this tournament and they still would have been first at the end of it, and they still can stretch out that lead even further. But the team against them still might have something to say about that. Reno Vitality looking better in this series than how they did in the upper bracket finals, but there's still work to do, and I'm going to keep saying it. Alpha, I think, is that missing component right now.
We even saw it in the end, Shogun, where he was trying to dribble it out, and he got dunked on by Monkey Moon. That game was still winnable. We've seen 0-second goals. We've seen last-second goals. And Alpha was a bit sloppy. Even before that, we saw him trying to hit K-Dop on a couple of passes across the midfield that were just not where they needed to be. They were predictable. They didn't have the pace nor the placement in order to get the job done. So I'm 100% with you, Shogun. Alpha, he is that superstar for me for Vitality. Fairypeak, yes, he has that shooting. He is a rock-solid player. K-Dop, a veteran as well, known for his killer instinct, but Alpha is a rare talent. He's a special talent. He has to put up the plays.
So, game number 4, a potential for 3 tournament points for BDS if they can just take this game. Over off the backboard, there's Fairypeak, and somehow Monkey Moon able to just get himself in front of it. Infield pass to Alpha one more time. Monkey Moon, again, is the one to block it. And Fairypeak actually has made a misstep. It's wide open! And Reno Vitality were doing so much right before it went very wrong.
That hurts. Fairypeak, he was going up for it. Might have been thinking that he was challenging somebody. I don't know how he was so far off. You know, it bounced off the ceiling. I don't think he expected it, and you give another one up. You can't be giving 3 goals to BDS. But also, I want to point out as well, Shogun, we saw these saves from Monkey Moon. He's everywhere. He predicts everything. There was that pass from Alpha high up to Fairypeak on the wall, where you think that's going to work, right? No, Monkey Moon still predicted that and cut that play off.
And I just want to point out, I had a chance to sit just there with Monkey Moon whilst he did double commit. Actually, it's going to be an infield pass. It's another save. Extra wants his name to be brought up when it comes to fantastic defense. But even the double commits don't really cost the BDS anything. Monkey Moon tried to jump up, but it was communicated so quickly. He only used 22 boosts and was right back down within no time at all. Run of Vitality, again, can't find their offense to really work. One more opportunity. BDS can't quite get it all the way past.
That was a big save, however, from K-Dop. I mean, you're in a 1v1 situation. That, BDS seems to come out on top of those more times than not. Now, Alpha getting shut down as well. And you just, as a Vitality fan, I'm sure you're watching and getting frustrated because you see these setups, you see these plays where you have all the position, and then all of a sudden, it takes 2 seconds for BDS to go downfield, capitalize on a mistake from Vitality, and take the lead.
Oh, well, this could be it. Alpha keeps that one out. But it is very much a crisis right now. A bump on the goal line as well. Alpha has to reset. Means Extra has time off the backboard. And you don't want to be giving him that.
Extra is so extra. Look at this. He goes in, double tap, sees Alpha, and he says, nah. I got this.
This is just chemistry that is special to watch. There's bumps on Alpha. Extra spotting his opportunity, decides to go for a much more impressive play that has a better chance of working out as a goal for him. The setups, it's all just such a difficult puzzle. And it's a puzzle that Vitality are really struggling with.
This is honestly, for Vitality, it seems like they're trying to put a square peg through a round hole. It just doesn't work.
Again, as always, it's just so difficult. A lot of people might be looking at this and just going, well, Vitality clearly are not playing at their best. And, well, we would definitely agree, James, that we could see better from them. This is what always happens when BDS plays. We always turn and say, well, they just made their opponents look not great. It's a good booming clear. Another minute and a half. Run of Vitality have got to go on the hunt. They need a goal soon because BDS will settle into this lead.
Yeah, BDS happy to waste time. And Shogun, you were talking about how they have each other's back so closely. The rotations are so tight. And look at these angles. Fairypeak manages to get that save, but more time is wasted. The speed that BDS plays at is unparalleled.
Drop into the midfield. It was a demo, and that just had to be on target. Vitality had their opportunity.
Oh,
it came
no!
from nowhere.
Oh, no!
Oh, dearie me. This is starting to look like every other grand final BDS has been a part of. And Vitality are collapsing.
Was that even in? I would have to see that again from a different angle. I don't know if that was even in. I think it was a panic moment from Fairypeak and ended up hitting it in. That is a tough break, but we do see Alpha get one back for Vitality. We'll see if they can make more kickoff magic happen.
200 IQ play here from Red Vitality. You can seed one nice and quickly so you can go and score off the kickoff and at least get those engines going.
Maybe better off the set piece.
Maybe. We're really reaching here now, James, for any sort of hope. Maybe if they can try and create something nice and quickly. Have something here. Got two players in front or to the side of the ball. It's going to drop straight down, and an extra touch from Fairypeak took it away from K-Dop. That's really unfortunate. 30 seconds now. Fairypeak and Vitality not in the best situation boost-wise across the entire team, but they can try and see what they can do. Actually, they've managed to do a bit better than I thought they were.
K-Dop pre-jumped to go for that off-the-ceiling pinch with Alpha. So you can see them digging deep in the playbook, but it still is not enough. Marked by 8, pokes this one in. And you see Monkey Moon jumping up, forcing Fairy and K-Dop to run into each other. This is brutal.
And we see so many teams that are nervy to put players forward. I just had a chance to check there. Marked by 8, who was playing as third man as that counter-attack came in, he was already across the halfway point. He wanted to adjust the position. He went directly across the line of the halfway point. There is no fear in this team. There is no willing to hold back. They trust what they think is going to happen, and then they go outside and make sure it happens. 3-1 now. BDS on the verge of another regional championship.
Yeah, it seems like they're the boss, Shogun. It's as simple as that. Everyone's playing by their rules, trying to match their pace. And Vitality not doing themselves any favors. We saw them make multiple mistakes on the defensive end. This is, even from Fairypeak, that one attempted read off the ceiling. He also hit that one back in his own net. We'd have to see that again and also get a look at his boost to see what exactly happened there. But regardless, from the outsider's perspective, that looked difficult. That looked tough. And Vitality, they started out hot, but Shogun, I guess I have to give you credit. BDS did start slow, but quickly got up to speed.
Turns out when I've seen the same story 10 to 20 times, even I can try and put together what the patterns are on that one.
I mean, the writers seem to be getting lazy. It's like season 7, season 8, writers just start to give up.
Yeah, I don't know what Johnny's been doing.
Too predictable
throughout all of this. Oh, it's going to be another miss. Here we go then. Run of Vitality. Win 3 in a row against BDS, and you get to stay in the tournament. That's not the reward that they would have been hoping for, but it's what they've got to work with. And Fairypeak has even stopped moving here. Passed over to Monkey Moon. K-Dom tried his hardest, but that's all he could manage.
Oh, man. Yeah, getting tangled up. Mark by 8 even messed up there and had to dish that over to Monkey Moon, but Monkey Moon's holding his hand down the aisle saying, I got you.
1-0 already. BDS. Just so dominant here in this grand finals across this entire tournament. Pass over to Mark by 8. He decides to back down, realizing that can't quite collect boost and ball. Oh, so double commit actually. It'll be on Mark by 8 to try and keep this one out. That he will do. Go across the face of goal one more time. K-Dom can't quite block it.
And this is the chance for Vitality. They've got everyone from BDS low on boost.
They're trying everything here. K-Dom even tried to slow down the shot. Maybe see if it can pre-jump, as this is just outstanding. Phenomenal. Use whatever descriptor you want. It won't be enough.
They had collectively about 20 boosts. Extra was on 0 when he passed that. Vitality was doing a great job of bleeding the boost out of BDS, but no matter what the boost count, BDS finds ways to pick apart this Vitality defense. These counterattacks are shredding Vitality.
BDS now not only on the cusp of regional glory, but they'll be the first team to break 2,000 points if this result stays as it currently is. And right now, there's no reason to think it won't.
And you have to remember, Shogun, in the lower final, Vitality swept the Giants. That is how good BDS are and how good Vitality is as well. These two teams really are standing alone at the top of Europe. But BDS, they got a nice view from the hilltop. They are all up there by themselves.
Monkey Moon isn't going to quite get contact. 2 minutes and 50 on the clock. All of the work to do for Reno Vitality. K-Dot wants to at least get some sort of start on it, but every single block is not dropping where they want it. In comes Fairypeak, hits it low, and Mark by 8 decides to save the low shot. His teammate went for whatever potential high shot could come in, and it means that the entire net is covered.
I still just can't believe these saves that BDS is getting on
weaponized double commits, James.
Yeah, I mean, but even regardless of double commits, these saves on 0 boost in that situation, and this wasn't even the only time that BDS has to get a perfect flip cancel to barely get back in time, to barely pinch it off the post to keep it out. These guys really are playing so crisp and so clean.
Alpha wants to try and at least help out in whatever way he can. He's now got Fairypeak in the infield. You can already see BDS moving to cover the infield option. Now Extra doesn't have the boost to try and follow that one up. Let's try and play off the ceiling for a ceiling double tap. That will be on target, but Extra can't quite get there. Reno Vitality not out of this just yet.
Yeah, and this is a very smart shot from Alpha. Goes low, marked by 8. Perhaps thinking Alpha wanted to set up the double tap off the backboard, tried to cut that angle off. But Alpha was one step ahead, dropping that down And that gives Vitality just a bit of hope.
Can they use that to get another one? Extra. And as far as Fairypeak, he's got all 3 members with him. Alpha actually pre-jumped it, and even that wasn't enough, as Monkey Moon was able to read the pass first. Another booming clear off the backboard. They're going to have to try and make use of this. Off the backboard one more time, and that is 1 backboard too many. Already BDS up there, and it's a misrotation one more time. And actually, be very happy, Renault Vitality, that your challenging player did not get contact, because that would have pinched into your net.
But, you know, that was Fairy's ball there again. He struggled to read that. I've not really seen Fairypeak have this many issues on reads like we've seen him make this game. So,
wow.
It doesn't even matter. Alpha is popping off.
Well, this is the alpha that we needed to see 2 games ago. Is it too little too late? Well, right now, the answer is that you can make something of this. But they've got to get the next goal. BDS saw the end of the tournament right in front of them. They might still have it. Mark Bayer going to force a double commit save. It's going to be up to Renault Vitality to try and restabilize the ship. Extra, only as far as Alpha this time around, who does get the pinch. Alpha starting to look mechanically more solid. 30 seconds left in this game. Fairypeak not quite as comfortable as he'd like to be. Can't find the block either. Vitality sending the challenge up very quickly as well. So if they can get one good one, be a little bit more proactive. Who's going to collect the ball afterwards? Might be able to outpace BDS, but Fairypeak again misses the ball. Extra looks the reset. He's got it. Alpha just jumps up and around. Vitality desperately want to get rid of this. Maybe have their own chance into the midfield. Up goes K-Dub with the shot on target. It's off the crossbar. Will we go to overtime? Yes, we will. BDS score here. They take the regional.
I thought that was it. How does that stay out?
Already off the backboard. Extra can't quite test K-Dub. And the attempt for a booming clear isn't going to quite work. Alpha by himself. It's a smart thing. Just pops the ball into the air, tries to get his team a little bit of time, but BDS will be unrelenting in this scenario. They do not want to have to play any longer. Off the backboard for the regional, and they will take it. BDS, the format might be different. The result is still the same. Are your regional champions.
BDS truly are the emperors of Europe. There is no one that stands in their way anymore. BDS dominant, tournament after tournament. Shogun, this seems like a new dynasty has formed. It truly does.
It's ridiculous. We have not seen something like this, especially not in Europe. We've had Dignitas, but Dignitas, not to sort of throw shade on their legacy, but they dealt with a small pool of teams for their record. This is every team that Europe has got to offer multiple times, and they still cannot be touched. There's a way to go yet for BDS to start looking towards a Dignitas. You know, lands, whatnot, these are all questions that will need answering one day. But one thing that is undeniable is that when it comes to online play, BDS are unrivaled in the region.
They truly are, and they didn't need any extra help, but I feel like they got it. You look at some of the plays, particularly from Fairypeak, who normally is so good. Even earlier today, up to this point, Fairypeak was hitting all of his shots, but even on that final play, Shogun, that ball tipped off of Fairy's car and ended up being that backward pass setup. So this was, you know, a game and a series where you saw multiple mistakes that normally Vitality's not making. So BDS, though, it's their speed that puts these teams in such awkward positions. It's so hard to keep up that you just end up making those mistakes. BDS, they're, you know, we have to get lands back and see how they perform on land against the world, because if they're as good as they appear right now, this might be a new era of Rocket League esports.
Yes, it really is got to the point where it's proven, okay? Like, we know that you are very, very good at trying to play online, and I cannot wait for the day that we can see them play face-to-face against an opposing team. But that day will have to wait. For today, though, the region belongs to BDS. Leaf, over to you.